Now, Democrats have another reason to be worried about 2020. President Trump's surging support among African Americans. The news has already got liberals nervous, including radio host Charlemagne the God. Here's his ominous warning for black Trump supporters. Quote, "It's not worth it. I don't think that we have gotten to the point in our society where we can take chances on a president who may be putting money in our pockets, but rolling back all our other civil rights. I don't care how rich you are. If you don't have civil rights, what's the point? Who wants to be a rich slave?" Never mind that Trump signed criminal justice reform into law, restored funding for religious, historically black colleges. Joining me now is Horace Cooper, co-chairman of Project 21 and author of the book, How Trump is Making Black America Great Again, along with Leo Terrell, civil rights attorney. Horace, what's your reaction to liberals who say Trump's stripping black Americans of their civil rights?
I laughed when I heard that people really think if given a choice to be prosperous, to be successful, or even rich, they would say, no, I want to make sure that there are laws on the books so that a landlord can't say to a tenant that you're a she when you think they're a he. That's supposed to be the priority for Black America or any group in America over success and prosperity. Get real. If that's the plan to be very sad on Election Day next November.
Okay, Leo, I need your reaction to this. I'm going to play this to you. This is a panel of African-American voters on Comedy Central, of all places, on The Daily Show. They tried to mock some of these voters, but watch what they discovered.
Chris, who do you think best understands the needs of the black voter?
Donald Trump. Some of the stuff I've heard he's already doing is like prison reform. He's been hanging around black people as long as I can remember. They loved him till he ran for president as a Republican. Trump was the man.
How many of you all still think Trump will win in 2020?
Trump 2020, baby.
Leo, your reaction. Four of them raised their hands. Everybody but one said they thought Trump was going to win.
My reaction is very simple. That's a small percentage of African Americans. Hey, here's the news flash. Less than 9% of African Americans voted for Trump in 2016. It's going to get less. But let me go back to what Horace said so everyone understands this.
Not true.
It is true. And I'll bet you under double digits for blacks voting for Trump. That's a fact, and you know that. But I'll challenge you. I'd rather have dignity and equality instead of being a second-class citizen. Tell me this, Horace. Why do our earnings as blacks, let me ask you this, why are our earnings as black or less than whites? Why do we have less wealth than whites? Why do we have less earning power? Why don't you answer that for me?
Okay, let him answer. Let him answer.
See if he answers it.
Let me give you dignity. Dignity is when your income starts to advance and in fact advances faster than any other racial group in America. That's what happened in the last 3 years. When your employment rate exceeds, the expansion rate exceeds that of every other group. In fact, the March on Washington that Martin Luther King spoke at, the original purpose of it was no, it's not. No, it's not. The original purpose was jobs.
The wealth of whites. He changed the subject.
Jobs.
He didn't answer.
Jobs. And in America, dignity comes from having a job. And that's what Donald Trump is giving.
I don't want any job.
That's what black Americans.
Time out.
That's what black Americans say we want.
I'm throwing a yellow flag, guys. Give me 1 second here because I want to pick up on something Leo said. Leo said, and he's right, 8% of African Americans vote. Well, this is what you're right about, not everything. 8% of African Americans voted for Trump in 2016. However, a new Emerson poll finds that Trump enjoys a 34.5% approval rating among African Americans. Now, that's up from 17.8% last month. What's happening here, Leo? Look, this is dangerous territory for the Democrats, isn't it?
A massive distinction between approval and actually who you're going to vote for. As far as voting for Trump is totally distinguishable from approval rating. And what I'm telling you right now, he will not get more than 8 or 9% in this upcoming election. But let me just simply say this. I don't want any job. I don't want a job. I want the same job that anybody, regardless of race, color, or sex. And what Horace didn't do is he didn't answer my question. Blacks have only one.
Okay, wait, I'm asking the questions, Leo. Horace, this is what I want to ask you. That 34.5%, if the reports show that if the Democrats can't secure 85 to 90% of the African American vote, a national election's over for them. If the president can peel away 34% or even 20%, he wins. How much of a reality do you believe that is? The possibility.
That is a political atom bomb. If you start to see the numbers that we actually saw in Georgia and in Florida and in Texas, where blacks ended up being the deciding vote for who ended up winning the statewide races in those 3 states. And the reason for that is black Americans are interested
I buy
in
dinner for both of
opportunity.
you if he's over 10%. I buy dinner.
If you don't, we're going to Ruth's Chris. I want to make sure you understand
over 10% for both of you.
I'm holding you both to this, and you're going to take me with you.
It is very likely to win in America. You've got to appeal with a real winning agenda that includes jobs. Whatever party wants that, and there's only Donald Trump doing it now. If the other side doesn't do it, you could end up seeing 12,
10%,
15, or even 18%.
Okay,
I want dinner. I bet dinner for that.
All right,
I got it.
Ruth's Chris, I'm making the reservation, and I knew Ruth Fertel originally. Okay, finally, gents, I want your reaction to this. Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, will be performing along with Colombian superstar Shakira at the Super Bowl halftime show. This being Super Bowl and football season, she told the LA Times, quote, "It's super important for 2 Latino women to be headlining the Super Bowl, especially right now in Trump's America." Did we need J-Lo to remind us that there are Latinos in America? And isn't this politicizing the last uniting force in American life, football? Horace, very quickly, 10 seconds.
This identity politics is actually hurting the left and progressives, and her actions just fulfill that. More and more of us are saying, we're just people. We want to watch football. We want to enjoy Thanksgiving. Don't divide us into these subsets.
Leo, 10 seconds.
Bravo for J-Lo, because you know what? This president, who has a problem with Hispanic judges, Charlottesville, she needs to make sure that we're not forgotten of all people of color. Bravo, J-Lo.
Well, I think if she's going to stand up and be the representative of Latinas, you know, she's in a movie, Hustlers, where she's playing a stripper right now. I liked her better when, you know, she was in Angel Eyes. So, Horace, Leo, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank
Thanksgiving.
you for being here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Coming up,
Gobble, gobble.
as